You guys, I'm trying this new tea and I had to doctor it up because it's a very bitter tea. How was everyone's holiday? I hope you had a great time. I hope you enjoyed the simulation of fakeness and all that crazy stuff, which is not my gig. You know, I used to do it when my kids were little, but now I'm a big girl, so I don't do it anymore. Well, honestly, I haven't done it for like 3 years, and I'm trying not to do it for another millennium. How's everyone? Wow. Ugh. This tea is something else. It's literally something else. Did I bring a spoon? I didn't bring a spoon. Why did I bring a spoon? Oh, shit. Well, let me see if I can do this. Use my pencil. It's kind of crazy because I'm gonna pull this out. I think it's getting a little too strong and it's really hot. That's not working. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah. Yeah, this tea is really freaking, it's very bitter. I put some honey in it. What else did I put in it? I put honey and hi everyone, thank you for showing up. I'm doing this new tea and I put some honey in it and I did lemon, but it's still not like the best. I don't know if you guys are familiar with um, a tea called Blue Lotus. I'm just trying because I've been hearing a lot about it. And so, since I'm on my spiritual journey, and sometimes I need to relax because the energy is just really crazy out there. I hope you guys had a good holiday. The ones that celebrate, I don't really celebrate it. I'm not that girl. I used to when my kids were little. It was like one of the necessary things I had to do as a parent. But you guys, this tea has such a like bitterness to it, but I heard it's very good holistically for relaxing you. And I don't know if anyone is familiar with. It's called uh, Blue Lotus, I think is what it's called. I don't know if you ever tried this. It's, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying it. It looks in it looks in here like it's like tasty, but then when I seep it and I put lemon and I put a little honey, it is like literally bitter. But I'm gonna try to, and I only got it filled, you guys, to about right here. I don't even have it. I can't imagine trying to do a full glass of this because it is really and it's called Blue Lotus, but it's actually purple. And so I went to this holistic fair and this lady turned me onto it. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see if it's gonna like work for me. Is it gonna like chill me out? Because this time of the year, I am not chilled. I am not chilled at all. And what it is not necessarily, as long as I stay in the house and don't come out and hibernate, I'm good. The moment I go out there, I feel anxiety, totally anxiety. And it's rather quiet. It's rather quiet, you guys. But it's still the vibe. I can feel the vibe. I don't care. People could be in their house. I can still feel the vibe, you know? So Oh, like I'm literally, oh, this is not good. I'm trying not to make a face, but y'all, this is, and I'm gonna tell you again, it's called Blue Lotus. Look it up. You know, you know. So, wow, you guys. I think the reason the holidays have been so really quiet right now, I think the reason it's been so quiet because people are really, really finding out that this is fakery. It's nothing. It's nothing like real about it, right? You're running around trying to buy gifts for people that don't even appreciate your gifts. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Hi, Nick. How are you? Hi, everybody. How are you? No, it doesn't have a smell. It's very like, mm, it comes out like a clear, like it's very clear, but it's supposed to like mellow you out and to kind of put you in that vibe, you know. And I just need to keep my energy tapped in. I'm having all kinds of emotions. And if you're a Scorpio, if y'all understand Scorpios, we have a plethora of feelings. Like we can't I can't even like articulate the feelings that I'm feeling right now because I have so many. I have, you know, they're good feelings, but maybe it's the tea. Maybe it's the tea that's giving me the good feelings. So, how are you guys tonight? I know it's been a minute. Oh, see, you know what it is? It's when you taste it, your first drink, it's not the drink itself, it's when you swallow, it has a back end taste to it that goes into your throat. Um, like a bitterness to it, you know. Yeah, it does. That's what got me. Yeah, it looks really good in the packet. Look it. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. It has a beautiful color. It looks like just flowers. And she told me, you know, and I've had this for weeks, but every time I try it, I did it once and that was just disastrous. So I thought this time I'll put some honey with it. I'll put some lemon, break up the bitterness in the back, but it's still kind of bitter. But it's supposed to be a very beautiful experience, you know. I don't know if you guys have done ayahuasca or anything like that. It kind of gives you that vibe like that, you know what I mean? Or if you've done plant medicine, you know, and meditation and stuff like that. It's supposed to be that kind of vibe. I don't know because I'm just doing it right now. So we'll see as we go. We'll see as we go. But I thought, you know, with all this stuff, this feeling, this anxiety, not knowing, like we're getting ready to go into some beautiful times. It's going to be a little bit of everything. I thought I would maybe try something that would chill me the freak out because I need to chill out. I need to chill out, you know. So you guys, how's it been going? What y'all been doing? What is so fabulous about this holiday? Tell me. Because you know, like I say, well, I just called my family and I just said I'm not buying any gifts. I'm not buying nothing. And I'm not into the shenanigans. I don't feel like doing the shenanigans. You know, my new mantra is not to be fake. I don't want to be fake. I don't want to act like I want to buy a gift. If I'm gonna buy a gift, That's an all year round thing. It's not something that you do. It's not something that you do like, once a year or for birthdays. Do it out of the kindness and loving part of your heart because you love your friends. Like when I love my friends, I just want to do something for them. It's not about, oh, it's got to be a holiday or it's got to be some special event so I can do it. No, let me do it now rather than in getting all stressed out like that. And everybody's running through the malls, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I just don't like that. So, what I really wanted to talk about today is you guys. I'm kind of concerned. And my concern is many of us are staying inside. We're not going out. That is a concern to me because we're not exploring the world. We're just inside, pent up. But this is what's so crazy. And this is where the concern is. Because the people I talk to and the people I know, we like being inside. I have no problem. I absolutely love being shut out from the world. But I need to go out there more and I need to be a little more sociable. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love being sociable. But the moment I feel some dark energy, like I went out a couple of weeks ago during my birthday, and I went out with a girlfriend. And we went to this place to go listen to music. Okay, it was so crowded that I immediately began to get this extreme anxiety because I'm not that type of clubber. I don't like to go to clubs like that. Me, I'm more like, let me go to a piano bar, listen to some jazz. There's a dozen of people in the room, a glass of wine. I'm good. I don't like to go into places where I'm going to feel like I'm in a place of sardines. And then I'm sitting in this place, right? And it wasn't bad for a minute. Then all of a sudden, I could literally feel the energy open the door and come in. And I told my girlfriend, I got to go. So I left. I left immediately. I had to get out of there. I felt like I was like I could feel the energy and it was dark. It was dark. So when you're in those places sometimes, you can't manage the darkness. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like free willy for darkness to come in and out and go where, up and down wherever it wants to do. I like to be able to manage my environment because people are cuckoo for Cocoa Pops these days. And you don't know what they're going to do in their cuckoo for Cocoa Pop days. You don't know what they're going to do. So therefore, I like to just stay my butt at home. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't really, yeah. I don't know. I'm just not that type of person, you know? But this tea, I'm going to try to finish it up, you guys, because it's just nasty. And I think as it gets cold, it's going to get nastier. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ugh, ugh. You guys. And didn't it look pretty? Doesn't it look so pretty? What the freaking A? Why does it taste? And this is an Egyptian flower. You can't get this. You only can get this in Egypt or parts of Asia, but it's very rare. You can't find this in the United States. And okay. Oh, and then they want you to seek this. Like you're supposed to sit this down for 3 to 4 hours. And I only had it in there a minute. Could you imagine how strong that is going to get? Like I don't think I could do that. Like I wouldn't, no children are allowed on this forum. I'm just letting y'all know. So if you got your kids in the room, because I don't want your kids to get turned on to something, I don't want to be responsible. But yeah, for it to look so pretty, it said 5 to 20 minutes. So I did do 5. But it also recommends to let it sit for 3 to 4 hours. Ooh. And I can barely handle the 10 minutes that I had it in. Mm. Oh, oh, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna give a review. It's nasty. What will the result be? I don't know. But I heard that you can smoke this too. But I'm not a smoker. So I heard you can smoke this. And it's supposed to be a little better, a little smoother. But I don't know. I'm trying to do herbs so I can relax myself, because this new energy that we're going in, I'm going into Aries, I'm going into Aquarius, and they're very fiery, they're very airy, they're very let's go everywhere, and that gives me anxiety. But yeah, um, oh, so I gotta. Ooh, I'm trying to prepare myself. I'm really trying to prepare myself for 2026, because I'm going to try to step out of my house for more than, for more than, you know, 2 to 3 hours. I'm going to try to get around people, but people get on my nerves, especially people that are fake. I cannot do fake people. So, um, and I think we're going into a time that people want to be more authentic. I think that's the banner that we are raising up, is authenticity. We're not going to be walking around here being fake, pretending that we got this perfect life, because not everybody got we don't, we all, I don't care where you come from. You do not have a perfect life. I don't care if you got a lot of money. I don't care if you don't have no money. I don't care if you just flat, just sitting in an alley somewhere. You do not have a perfect life. We do not have a perfect life. We're gonna have valleys and lows. And I think, like, people want realness. And I'm here to be real. I can't do the fakery stuff. I can't. I can't. So, you guys, I have a little crush. I do. It happened organically. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. So, it's just a crush from a distance. I'm a crush from a distance. I just like, okay, let's see. Let me see. Well, he reached out to me first, so we'll see. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I don't know. Has this year been interesting for exes calling you, exes trying to come back? Well, I had this one ex. Now, this is what's so crazy about the exes that are trying to resurface in my life. Some of them are waiting as far back as 10 years. Like, how do I remember you 10 years? 10 years, okay? So, I get this message on LinkedIn, my business page, and you guys, in the last probably 6 months, I got 2 messages on my LinkedIn, maybe 3. I think it was 3. And they were exes. They couldn't find my number because, made some kind of excuse. Well, this one guy I guess I dated him like 10 years ago. And he's from Scotland. Apparently, it's kind of funny, but it's not funny. Okay, it's funny, but it's not funny. So apparently, he has he's driving and he goes into cardiac arrest. His heart. He has a heart attack. So while he's having this heart attack, he runs into a house and then strokes out, right? And so he said when he strokes, I cannot believe this. But this is what he said. This is what he said. When he strokes out, he said, "My face." He saw a picture of me, and and so I guess the stroke, he lost his memory, or it just doesn't make sense. And I don't know if it's a scam. I don't know if he's just trying to get into my auric field or what. But this is what he said. So he messages me on LinkedIn and said, leaves his number and asked me to call him, but I did not call. I texted him and I said, I said, hey, and I'm not gonna say his name because I'm trying to protect the innocent. So I said, hey, what's up? How you doing? And so he tells me this story. I had a heart attack. I ran into this house, and when I hit the house, I stroked out, and I'm recovering, etc., etc. So he goes, and it was, oh my God, it was so funny because he goes, well, I lost my memory and I want to know how I know you. And I go, well, we dated for about a year, and I go, you moved to Scotland. And then he goes, but and so he starts backtracking. He goes, I was really in love with you. I tried to call you. I tried to yada, yada, yada. You know that line. So he's yada, yada, yada with that, right? Which is kind of funny. Good morning. How are you? If it's good morning there, where are you coming from? And so what's so funny, he gives me this line, this story, right? And then I go, well, I've had the same phone number forever. I've never changed my phone number. Like my phone number has doggone cobwebs on it. I've had that phone number and so I told him, I said, no, 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 I don't believe that. So now he's trying to come back. But you know what I've noticed? And this is not offense to any of the men that are on my page right now, right? But I'm just going to say, if you dated a woman, do me a favor. This is just a little advice to all you guys. Don't come back and think she's going to retrieve you again. I think that is a dangerous game to play because you will be setting yourself up for disappointment, because what it shows a female that when you come back, and let me, in all humility, I am just, you know thank you that 10, 15 years ago you remember me as in a relationship. Thank you. I feel honored. Thank you. But I'm not going back to you. It's never going to happen. You know, I mean, the men that I have, moved on, I have moved on. And even if I wanted to go back, I would bite my hand off. I would bite my hand pure to the bone, chop it off, that I had no hand no more before I would give you a chance when you drop the ball. That's like when you remember when Romo blew, we had the playoffs, the Dallas Cowboys had the playoffs, and Romo dropped that ball when he could have won that game. That's what guys do. You dropped the ball when you could have won the game, and then you're having nightmares at night that, like, man, I should have went for it. I should have went for it. Yeah, you should have went for it, because you're not gonna have a second chance. You're not gonna have a second chance. You're not gonna have a one chance and a half. It's not gonna happen. So I'm giving you guys advice. If you are with a strong woman and she gives you, especially a Scorpio woman, if you get a Scorpio woman, you are learning the art of love. If you get a Scorpio woman, you're learning about the art of love, the art about sensuality, the art about connection, the art about honesty. Like, you're getting everything. And if you can't hang on to that ball with your accolades and you let that go, you do not deserve to come back. Because a Scorpio woman will chop off her hand before she'll take a man back that drops the ball. Because you have to understand that, of course, the grass may look greener over there. It really does. From afar off, it looks very green. But when you get really close to it, guess what? It starts looking like the brown grass. And then you realize the person that you went over to see in that green grass actually was not so good after all. And so you can't resurface and think, and you know what, the thing about it, if you were a Scorpio woman, she will catch that ball, you know what I mean? Bing, 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 bing. She will catch that bing, 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 bing in a minute. Because she doesn't play that. So yeah, so he tried to come back, and he thought I did, you know, 'cause he assumed that I didn't believe him, but I believe what he said. He had a heart attack and he ran into a car. So he sends me the newspaper article of his car in a house. And it just blows me away. And I wish y'all, like, why don't y'all tell me, why do you guys come back? Like, what is it that causes y'all to come back? And then when y'all come back, it's this song and dance that is just unbelievable. Are you really telling on yourself? Because when a man is in his ego and he comes back to resurface a woman that he dropped the ball, he fumbled the ball. Any of you guys that are sports enthusiasts and you fumble the wrong ball, what happens? You have nightmares for the rest of your life. You take that into the grave. When you had a 3-point shoot that you always make, but then you miss it for the playoffs and you never can take that, you never can get that time back. And then you show up with dustiness, all dusty. You're dusty, broke down. You have erectile dysfunction. You got all these issues. And then you want to resurface the female that probably would have stayed with you through all of that. But no, you want to come back 10 years later and say, um, wow, you're aging so well. And I go, wow, you're aging so badly. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I do not understand why that happens, why men like to do that. Because, and I'm just going to let y'all know, it's not very pretty. It's not very, it doesn't make a woman feel good. In fact, it exposes you. It really does. It exposes your intent, you know. And like I think I said on my last feed, I've had close to 8 guys come back this year. And I don't know why this year is so interesting this year, because they're coming back. They're coming back as far back as 10 years. And I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. And then when I see them, you don't look like you looked when I first dated you. You know, and I know I don't look like I did 10 years ago, but I look better than that. I'm just saying. Well, you know, black don't crack anyway. And most of the guys I date are European, you know. But you know, one of my exes, we were together for 18 years, and I saw him 6 months ago. You know, he trying to come back, so he came all the way from Norway to come see me, and I don't know if it's the cold. He didn't look so bad. He still looked the same, but he drinks. He drinks like nobody's business, right? So I'm thinking maybe the alcohol has fermented or whatever, and he's just aging very well. But the rest of them look like they're on their way to the nursing home, and I'm the pit stop before they hit the nursing home. I am not going to be your healthcare provider. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And I think that's what they do. I think that's what they do. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So don't do that, okay, you guys? Understand that if you tell her goodbye or you guys don't work out, don't try to come back because she is not going to receive it. And I know this is not a popular subject because a lot of guys are in their ego, but women are, think about it. They can take care of themselves. They can do their own laundry. They don't need, and women are not concerned nowadays about money. You can't woo a girl financially anymore. That used to work back in the 60s, the 50s and the 60s. Maybe a little bit in the 70s, but it don't work now because women are educated. Women have their own things. Women, you know, I have my own business. I don't need, I really, like, do I need a man? Not really. Would I like to be in a relationship? Yes. I would like to be in a partnership, but I don't want misogyny either. And that's what's so crazy. It's so crazy how the tide has turned. The tide has turned, and a lot of, like right now, they just did the numbers. 65%, or is it 60? No, no. 48%. 48% of men are lonely. And then it goes higher, the ones that are not having sex. Because you got to be, nowadays, you got to be really, really, really fine to get in a woman's vagina, just to get in there. And if you don't got nothing going on, and you know, you don't have any assets, that, not that she needs your assets, it's got to be worth her, because it's not about how you look anymore. It's about your character. And if your character is is dysfunctional, and you have all these injuries, like you haven't done your inner child healing, you're still living in your mother's womb, you would not believe how many guys hate their mothers. So how would they love a woman? They can't love a woman because they haven't dealt with the issue of, they haven't dealt with the issue of their mother. They haven't dealt with going inside and dealing with that is such important aspect. Like, you know, I think about my brother. My brother adores his wife, but he loves my mom to death. He has very strong connection with my mother. So he's been married. My brother's been married 30, almost 25, 30 years. He's been married a long time. And that love and his ability to love came from how he feels about his mother, you know. And it's a direct uh literally link to how he loves, and how he loves his mother. And then he has three daughters, so you add that he has three daughters. He's loving his wife. he's showing that he has a good relationship with his mother. But a lot of men are living in secret and they don't love their moms, and they hate women, and they don't even know that they hate women. They don't even know that they feel like they're in competition with women. And the crazy thing, women are not competing. They just want to be seen and they just want to be heard. And that's where I find that a lot of problems are happening because men are not valuing the word. They're not valuing the voice. They're not valuing what's behind the word, what's behind the voice. And that is a woman actually telling you. I just saw an interview with Cardi B, and um with who's that girl that used to sing with Beyonce? I can't remember. Shelly, I can't remember her name, but she used to sing with Beyonce. So she has a show, and so she had Cardi B on that show, and she literally said on the show that she asked Cardi B, like, why did you stay so long? And Cardi B said, like, at first it's something mild. It's like they say something, and you can get over in 2 hours, or you can get it over in 2 days. And then they just keep on and keep on. Then finally you get to a place that it takes not just 2 days, it takes you months. And then by the time you get to the end, by the time a woman, and she said something very interesting, when a woman knows that she can't go back anymore, that's the most painful part, because that's when our heart is truly broken. And when that happens, it's a like, you can't even speak the words of how you feel when somebody puts you in a place that you will never resurface their presence again, because it hurt so bad and so deeply. And I think what's happened is the epidemic of men being lonely is because they don't know how to relate to women. They don't know how to connect. And so they're just sitting in their rooms with blue balls. And it's sad to see them, because everything about a man is what he does. Everything about a man, like, dudes don't go and sit and talk about their emotions. No, they talk about what they do. They talk about how they conquer. And when you're not in a role of a relationship that you're conquering, you're conquering, providing, you're conquering having children, when a man has those kind of duties, they feel they feel like they're worth something, right? They always switch it around on women. Women have their friends, they give them worth. They go shopping, they go have pedicures, they hang out with their girls, and that's where their worth comes from. And women are always validating each other. I mean, like, my girlfriends are my biggest support. Dudes, all they do is just high five and talk about sport. I could sit and, I was actually telling one of my friends, because we were talking about, because a lot of our friends, I have a lot of male friends and I have a lot of female friends. And she was saying that she has mostly male friends, but I think why women have a lot of male friends is that male friends like to have females as friends, because they can't talk to bros the way they can talk to their female friends. And men need depth. Men need depth just like women need depth. But bros get together and for some reason they lose the ability to have depth. They lose the ability to go inner with each other. Exactly. But with and but a life living, like when you're talking with the bros, you're literally, yeah, what do y'all talk about? What do y'all, like, really, what do y'all talk about? Do y'all really get to have that conversation? Like women will sit, like, I can like I can like go in the presence of one of my girlfriends and I'm having a bad day and they will like just look at me and says, "What's wrong? What's going on? Like, are you okay?" Do dudes do that? No, guys don't do that. And so I think like with this lonely pandemic, and they already have done, like, we just have so many, it's creating violence within our society because a man needs to feel needed. They need to feel needed, they need to feel respected, they need to be seen by the world for the things they do. Like men love to say I'm a husband and I have kids, and my wife's takes care of our kids, right? Like they need that. And it's so crazy because they can't get it now. It's not easy to get it. And when you talk to women about it, the only thing women miss about men is intimacy. And even in intimacy, they are afraid to be intimate with men because men, they don't want to be attached to that man's energy because that is too much of a risk for her. And that's what's so crazy. That's what's so crazy is that women fear the intimacy because there's an attachment to that intimacy. And women pay a greater price for intimacy than a man does. You know, there's a long-term price that a woman has to pay. Not only emotional, but a child can appear, if you really think about it. So, and so what women do is they're cultivating their relationships with their friends. They're, I mean, like, how many of my friends, I have two of my friends in Arizona are just self-made. They don't even have to have a man in their life. They don't need a man. Like I'm looking at a lot of my friends, they're business owners. They have their own thing going on. They have a full life. They have a full life. They're not missing anything. And then what's so crazy is just like, the longer a man is not in connection with a woman, he loses the ability to be able to even please a woman. And that's what's so hard. And that's what's so sad. But I do know as a woman, we are learning as a woman that we got to help you guys out of this funk. But while we're trying to help you guys out of this funk, we will not be disrespected. And I think that's why there's this gap in the mere fact of connection, because women are not going to sacrifice their self-worth to help a man get self-worth. And that's where the dichotomy is, because without a woman re-entering into the presence of a man, he will be lonely. Sorry, I'm sorry. Somebody called me. This is my daughter. Let me see. Oh, this phone is dead. Oh, she's gonna have to wait. I'll call her later. But You know what I'm saying? So it's a sad state. It's a sad state. And it's a sad state because of the fact that if men and women don't come to this, and I think with women, I think right now women are willing, but the men have not let go of their shenanigans. And until they let go of the shenanigans and allow themselves to really be open for connection in a authentic way, not with games, not misogyny, not really be in their bodies, really start dealing with the healing process, because the epidemic of lonely men is actually increasing by the year. You know, I think right before COVID it was like maybe 35-40%. Now it's hitting in the 60%, because men are so afraid to be vulnerable. They're so afraid to show. And you know what, this is the thing, and this is why I understand that some of the men that I have dated have always come back, because I do know the value of, like, one of the guy that I dated about 3 years ago. The one thing he told me, he said, he literally told me this. He goes, I was one of his best relationships that he had ever had. He learned the art of a friendship and love, because love is not just based on lust. It's based on mutual respect, and then romance and sensuality and sexuality is kind of like the dance of the relationship and the friendship and the passion and everything. And he was so shocked because he was so used to having very toxic relationships, and then he meets me and he didn't even know what to do, because I don't argue with men. It's not worth it. Like, why am I gonna argue with you? I'll tell you how I feel, and I may say that a couple of times. But if you're not hearing me, I'll go quiet. I won't even address it, because I can't teach a hard-headed man to hear me. Hard-headed man for me ends up my ex, because that's how that happens. I won't stay with somebody that's hard-headed. You know, it's kind of interesting. But you guys, I hope y'all had a very. I'm trying to finish this tea. It ain't working, but I really need to. This tea was really expensive, and it's nasty. Okay, I think I told you guys I'm drinking. It's called um blue lotus flower. It actually comes out purple. It looks purple in the flower, but it's like a yellow orange color when it's sipped. So, and it's supposed to relax you, but whenever, well, I'm glad you think I'm clueless. So get off my channel. You don't even have to. You know what? I am not talking about. I'm talking about my experiences. Okay, so if you think I'm clueless, you can. And thank you for the respectfully clueless. But yeah, look at the numbers yourself, and anything that I say, you can research it. And it will tell you. Men are lonely. They're very lonely right now. Very lonely. Walking around with blue balls. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. And if you're lucky, you'll get a woman that doesn't know herself, and she may give her body to you because she needy. That simple. Respectfully. So, um, okay. Okay. So, you guys, I got a phone call that I must take. And so I wasn't really wanting to talk about relationships. We kind of went that way in my conversation. I was actually talking about my tea. Um, but the advice I can give to you guys is really start rethinking how important it is for us to all come together. And the thing about women right now, um, and just in some of my sessions that I'm doing, women are just really content with just having their friends, having those connections, because they do have really good tight connections. And the one thing, like I said, women support each other. Men, they talk about football, but they don't go beyond in those conversations. And so, and I know that by my, even my best friend, I have a lot of guy friends, and the reason we have these guy friends, that's why women have guy friends, because guy friends that want to go deeper in their relationships and not just talk about sports or talk about um um business. They're just not being totally in their bodies and talking about their emotions and their feelings. And so that's why there's such a high percentage of men that are lonely, you know. And the thing about it, respectfully, sir, when I could go outside right now and get laid like that. That's not easy for men. Women can get laid anytime. Now, now, if you ain't picky, it's even easier. So, to be honest with you, it's a whole different playing field right now. Women are looking for you to come to the table with something, and that is integrity, that is heart, that is um, really being transparent. It's about being vulnerable, which that's a taboo word. Vulnerable, open, the realization that openness draws a woman to you. She needs to know who you are. And it's just that easy. And so, respectfully, since I don't know what I'm talking about, oh well. I just, I'm going to leave y'all like right here. It is time for me to go. I do have a phone call. And remember, I have my merch in my bio. I also have my website business. That's www.heygorgousyou.com. And I have my link tree in my bio. And thank you. And I will see you guys soon. Like and follow. Talk to you later. Bye.